Hello, welcome aboard our flight. This flight has been chartered by First Baptist Church of Anderson, South Carolina, and that's why you're only seeing First Baptist folks here today. We expect this to be a nice flight today. We've got some wonderful flight attendants on board. They're here for your safety primarily, and I ask that you follow their instructions at all times. We'll be traveling at about 35,000 feet, 600 miles an hour. Should be a nice flight. We've got a couple of safety things I want to talk to you about. First, the overhead bins. Stay out of those. They have a lot of equipment up there, and if you get into it, you may disturb that and make it not useful, especially the oxygen mask. If at any time the cabin becomes depressurized and you need to do this, it's going to drop down. Notice it has a little face mask on it with a little piece of rubber. You're going to get that, put it over your head, breathe normally, no problem. The airplane will start a rapid descent if we do have to do that to get down to where you can breathe, so don't worry about that. We'll be handling that in the cockpit. It should be okay. Also, I want to talk to you about below 10,000 feet, stay in your seat. We do know that the jet stream is here you go, a little bit further south than normal this time of year. So it's hitting the Blue Ridge Mountains, coming down, sweeping down around Anderson, and going back up and making for a rough ride. So below 10,000 feet, we do anticipate some bumps, so I ask that you stay in your seats during that time. If at any reason we need to get out of the airplane quickly, you came in the front door, that's a normal emergency exit. The best one is going to be out the back. So look behind you, make sure that you know where that exit's at and that somebody knows how to operate that handle. Also, under your seat you're going to find a life jacket. If you need to use that life jacket, I think everybody knows how to do that. Put it on, and if you have somebody next to you that's having a problem, help them out also. Today's flight's going to be about an hour and 50 minutes. Should be a good flight. The weather's going to be nice. So welcome aboard and enjoy the flight.
Hey, Flight 1! Alright, y'all, we're going to do our cheer on 3.
Here we are.
1, 2, 3. I believe I can fly! Woo! Should we sing our song for the video camera?
Please no. Yeah. Please no.
Alright, someone start it. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Guys, let's get life vest.
Woo! Alright, that is Flight 1 signing off.
This is Andy and Chase saying, let's please don't die.
Hey everyone else on Flight 1. How you guys doing?
Everybody needs to go around and tell their names. We need. All right, what's your name? This is Brittany. This is
Katie.
Katie. That's Abby.
It's Chase Winsky up in this hood.
This is Catherine. Haley.
Becca. Becca.
Where's Caroline go?
Justin Bieber.
We are gonna die because the same is driving the plane.
That is Caroline.
That is not Caroline. Yes, it is.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
I love you, Justin.
We all need to go by alias names. Everybody needs to think of a weird name, and that's your alien. That is Caroline Shaw.
Gregory Norris Jr.
This is White Chocolate.
Gregory Bartholomew Johnson Norris. The second.
Other name ugly, as you can tell.
I'm Shanita's Wenaichi Robaka Jackson.
Why am I Taylor Swift? Because you're Taylor Swift today.
This is Taylor Swift.
I can't let it go in the summer.
Yeah.
Bye, Mommy. Bye. What's that song? It's horrible to slide.
I'm running out of darkness, out of shame. By the cross, you are the truth, you are the light, you are the way. My dad, okay.
We're on shuffle.
Oh, happy day, happy day. You washed my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. Oh, that doesn't work.
I'll never be the same.
Do 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 do.
I feel like we're on shuffle.
Yeah, we're on shuffle. Flight 1 on shuffle.
Is that on
Nope.
Guys, I think we're about to land.
Okay.
We're losing altitude. Holy crap.
We're above 5,000 feet. Hey, pilot, are we above
Like, do we need to sit down?
Yes. Hey, boo boo.
Why am I doing this?
No, you started.
Ready? Didn't do it.
Guys are playing.
Let's go again.
Go again.
That's probably the most single thing. I started.
It is in a button.
Whoa!
Alright, we're gonna do it.
Slow-mo. Really fast, really fast.
Wait. They gotta
We're doing
finish
this.
it. All right, slow-mo, start. You ready?
Okay, all right, gotcha. Can you bring it to the top? Like you're never gonna stop?
Can you bring it to the top? One hop. Get funky with it. I want our pieces. Cha-cha, real smooth.
Turn it up. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Two hops this time.
Right foot, let's stop.
Left foot, let's stop. Trees! Everybody clap your hands! Oh, good job.
You say Carly. Okay.
Carly Campbell!
Film Carly. Were you Carly?
There she is, everybody. Let's go! She has a problem and she's not afraid to
Wait a minute, it's alright.
It's a sign of the mask! Me and Catherine, we gotta share.
No, you.
Buddy, breathe in.
Take care of yourself first.
Are we supposed to?
Are we supposed to put these on for real?
Oh, we're
Put your mask on, please.
Which way they go?
Everybody around the camera.
I'm gonna die. I don't have a bike.
We have masks on.
You're seriously smoked. I'm not even.
Are we legit putting on live?
Okay. Oh my God.
Where's Max?
I'm not the
I don't have a life jacket.
It's under your face.
Suck it up and wear it, and it'll save your life.
I did. Someone help me.
Here, I'll hold the camera. Put your life jacket on.
Part of the plane. Part of the plane crashed over there.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, everybody, y'all just do
Does anybody have any
All right. Well, we gotta get to him somehow. I mean,
We can't swim all the way over there.
but I mean, we can't just do nothing though. I mean, we gotta save him.
Oh my gosh, guys. Wait. Wait. What's that over there?
We're missing a couple more people.
And
We had some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
oh, yeah, there are lights over there.
lights?
What? Oh, it's the other half of the plane.
Oh, wait. It's the plane that broke.
That's our plane. We found the people. Woo! Woo!
Here he is, behind us.
Yeah, they okay?
All right.
Your mama got shot, Rebecca. Help, we need a nurse.
Oh wow, she's bleeding really bad.
Hey, medical attention. She got shot.
We need somebody to take care of her while we take care of some of these plane crash survivors.
I can take her off. Everybody pick her up.
Help me out over here too.
No, you gotta get
Just a few feet. Fire.
Oh, Sam, you alright?
Someone shot him! Oh my God!
You got hit pretty bad.
I'm gonna grab one off. We gotta get him off the. We gotta get him on the island. Everybody get up. Everybody help him.
We gotta gather in one place. We gotta get a plan of action. We gotta figure out what's going on. All right, help him down. Help him down. How did they accidentally get shot in the plane?
Oh my God!
That guy was a big
I got you. He's here. I love him.
We gotta figure out what's going on over here. What kind of weird thing? Like we crashed and now we got all this stuff going on. Like we gotta figure out what's going on. Anybody can like help figure out like what is going on?
There was a guy on a jet ski with a gun.
He was shooting.
Hold on, listen.
She put us on my phone this time, but I gotta look at the map before it goes. The flight path, there shouldn't even be an island here. Technically, this island doesn't even exist. I swear.
So it's like it's just out of nowhere.
Like he's here though, or else y'all wouldn't drown.
Well, I mean, like, what even just happened? Like, where's the pilot? Can the pilot tell us where? Like,
Where's the
is the pilot here?
Port Harry!
It's something like to control the airplane and threw me down. I'm not sure. I've been to Bermuda Triangle many times, and the instruments were spinning around. I have no idea what happened.
Well, all right, we gotta. All right, these boats we got, whoever they belong to, I don't know, but these boats we got, I looked at the meter. We don't have a lot of fuel in any of these, so we don't have a whole lot of fuel to just be driving around trying to figure out where we are. So what we need to do, we need to start a signal fire. We need to try to draw some attention. If we don't have phones, the FAA is not going to find us on the planes. The FAA.
Who's the FAA?
It's like who controls airplanes.
Oh, okay.
Flight association. How could you know where the luggage compartment is? I mean, we were falling out of a plane. How could you have possibly just like seen it fall when we were falling?
Well, no, my laptop had a GPS transponder in it, and I saw it on my phone. That's where I lost it.
You had cell phone when you didn't tell anybody?
Well, it was right before you guys got here. It was just for half a second. But the phone was already on that menu, and I looked at it to see where we were, but there were none of these islands. It's just water, and it was done over in that direction. It's slow time now.
Well, okay, what we need to do, we need to find what we can survive off of the luggage. Like I said, we need to start a signal fire, some kind of signal fire, but we obviously don't need to do it near jet fuel. So that can't happen. So let's go to this luggage compartment, try to see if we can find something to survive off over there, and start some kind of signal fire. Let's go, let's load up on the boat.
There's no need to panic. We've stopped and we're looking for things to survive on. There's scary noises coming out of the forest thing on this island, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it. Catherine found a really cute suitcase. There's some really weird mutant deer footprints. I don't know if you can see them.
Lightning bug.
There's a lightning bug. We're looking for something. Katie's going crazy and screaming the name of a sparkly guy. I don't really know what to do.
I called him, y'all.
Nicole caught a lightning bug, but there's no need to panic. We're gonna be okay.
I have the cute luggage.
We're looking for pineapples. Pineapple.
Y'all might want to go around this. There's a briar thicket right over
Okay, yeah,
there.
we'll go around. Anyone see pineapples? Appropriate.
Should have shot a flare at them.
Ha. That would have been great. Man, I'm real hungry. Pineapple would be nice right now.
I can't see you, I can just hear you.
In that case, Mary Catherine, I love you.
I love you.
Just to have this on camera in case we don't make it off this island.
All right. The world knows.
Unless they never find the camera.
Pineapples!
Found a rat.
Found a rat.
Pineapples!
Go back. All right. Hey, y'all, is any of this luggage y'all's?
No.
None of it?
No. Let's hop back on the boat.
Well, it was a big luggage compartment, so, I mean, maybe our stuff spread somewhere else. I mean, we fell from a pretty good distance. So, maybe we'll find some of our stuff later. But while we got this signal fire going, I mean, nothing we can do but kind of stand around here. So, I think this is a good opportunity for us to talk about some stuff. While we kind of get in kind of a circle, we're the only survivors of our plane crash, so I think you should definitely keep what you, like, if you found a book, I think you should keep that book. Because, I mean, we don't know how long we're going to be here, so if you found a book, I think you should keep that book.
I found a pineapple. Can I have it?
We'll split up the pineapples amongst us.
That's not cool. I found it. I found it. I should give it. Hey, you found
But we can split up a pineapple easier than we can split up a book. Here we are sitting here lost, and I want to kind of get your mind off of it for a minute. And I want you to think about a time when Jesus' disciples felt lost. Jesus had been crucified, and I mean, to say the disciples were bummed would have been like putting it mildly. I mean, bummed does not even begin to describe it, because the disciples had been following Jesus, and they had left everything to follow Jesus. And now he's been crucified, and at this point, the disciples don't really get the whole raising after 3 days thing. I mean, they've heard the prophecy, but it just hasn't sunk in yet. I mean, it's like floating around up here in their head. It hasn't made it down to their hearts. They don't know what's going on. So they thought that Jesus was going to come in, and he was going to go into Jerusalem. He was going to encounter the Roman army, and he was just going to kick tail. Like everybody that had been enslaving his people, he was just going to kick tail, and he was going to liberate them, and that was going to be great, because this is the Son of God come down in human flesh, and this is the people of God. So obviously, Jesus, like his big mission would be to come and save us, right? But what Jesus does is he comes and he saves us from ourselves. And they don't quite get that at that point. So at this point in the story, the disciples don't get quite why Jesus had to die. He's been in the tomb for 3 days, and they're just totally bummed out. And at this point, these people who have left everything, some of those, Simon, Peter, and Thomas, they used to be fishermen. So what their family business was, they were doing fishing. They left everything. When Jesus first came to them, they literally dropped their nets and they just follow him. I mean, they like don't even say like, okay, let me go put my boat up to dock or anything like that. They just drop it. It'd be like if Jesus approached you on the highway and you just get out of your car with the keys still in, the engine running, you're like, okay, I'm going to follow Jesus. I mean, that's basically what they did. So at this point, they're back on the boat and they're fishing. So they're pretty much kind of going back to the family business like, wow, the whole Jesus thing didn't work. I am just like so upset. So like these are people like out on the boat, they're casting their nets, they're trying to get some fish, trying to just kind of pick up where they left off before Jesus came into their lives, and just trying to kind of pick up the pieces, not just physically, but just like of themselves and who they are. So in John chapter 21, we see Simon, Peter, Thomas, and there's a few other people. They're trying to get back to the business of fishing, and just kind of what they were doing beforehand. And Jesus walks up on the shore. Now Jesus is at a distance away, and it may even be dusk at this point, and they don't know who it is that they're like looking at. But Jesus comes over to the shoreline and he just hollers out, "Have you caught any fish?" And they're like, "No, we haven't caught any fish." Which I'm thinking, if I was one of the disciples, I'm thinking, I just cannot catch a break, man. I mean, the Messiah, the Son of God, just died, and I watched it happen, and I was powerless to do anything about it. I freaked out, I chickened out. People asked me if I knew him, and I denied him. So I feel like a traitor. I feel like this thing didn't work out, and I'm over here catching fish. I can't even catch a fish. Cannot catch a break. So if I'm one of the disciples, I'm thinking that this guy's over here on the shore asking me if I've caught anything, and I'm like, no, man, I just can't do anything right now. So he says, well, why don't you cast the net on the other side of the boat? And they do. They cast the net on the other side of the boat, and they catch up all these fish. Does this story sound familiar? Yes. Yes. Does it sound familiar like earlier? This happened before this time? So when Jesus first met the disciples, this is what he did. This is how he introduced himself. When they first dropped everything and started following God, this is how it happened. And now Jesus himself has come back. He's risen from the grave, just like he said he would. And he's started this miracle all over again. And it's like ultimate deja vu. Here they were out here feeling lost, and now Jesus has come, and instantly, like at that moment happened, Peter turns to John, and he realizes what's going on, and he says, "It's the Lord, it's God, this is Jesus." So he like, okay, just to be real with you, they're out on a boat. It's hot, kind of like now, but worse, because, I mean, Middle East. I mean, well, we don't know where we are, but okay, it's hotter out there than it is out here.
We're in California.
Yeah, we're out here somewhere, I don't know. Technically, this island doesn't exist according to the GPS, so.
Oh, crap.
But they're out there, they're just absolutely burning up. So you're out there on a boat, it's just you and a bunch of the guys. So you would like take your shirt off. Or in their case, you know, you've all seen the pictures, like no matter how much time you spent in church or whatever, you've seen the pictures, like the big robes that they wore and stuff. Like, it was like a big thing, and there's like layers there, and I don't see how they wouldn't burn up. Well, basically, like you had like a layer underneath all of that, kind of like what we would think about as long johns. That would be like their underwear. So Peter's like up on the boat, it's burning up, he's gotten all these robes off of him. He's basically sitting on the boat in his underwear. And he sees Jesus. And like the first thing he does is like he grabs that robe and he like throws it around him because he's like trying to kind of be respectful. He jumps in the water. He starts running towards Jesus. And once they get to the shore, anybody know what happens next?
No.
They eat breakfast. I love this story that like Jesus has risen from the grave. He asked them if they have any fish. They go catch all these fish. When they get to the shoreline, Jesus is up there frying up some fish. Now, where did the fish come from?
The water.
Jesus.
The water. Did it come from the boat?
No. No, they
'Cause-
jumped up because fish.
Because it's Jesus. That's right. Somehow Jesus has fish. So he's gotten them fish, and he's already got fish over here that he's frying up. And so they sit down with Jesus and they eat breakfast. And like, if I'm one of the disciples and I'm eating breakfast with Jesus who just rose from the dead, I'm like putting it in my eyeball because I'm not even looking at my food. I'm just like, Jesus just rose from the dead. He's frying up fish on the beach. What in the world? So I would probably just be like astounded at that. And you know that's probably what the disciples are feeling. They're like, what on earth is going on? Why? I mean, granted, it's a fishing community. This is what they do for a living. But why do you think Jesus was served fish? There's a lot of possible answers for that.
The fishes of mention.
Fishers of men.
Maybe he likes fish.
He likes fish.
That was kind of their staple, wasn't it?
That was kind of their staple, yeah. He's done this miracle before.
5 loaves, 2 fishes. Is that what
5
you're
loaves and 2
saying?
fishes. Does anybody know the story behind the Jesus fish?
No.
I think, if I know it
Can you
right,
tell us?
like I don't know if it's like legit
Travis,
or not.
which story?
Is it
There's a bunch of them.
like the
There's like-
the
When
one
they were
that spells out the word
persecuted?
fish, or
I don't
why
know.
the symbol came? from?
Why the symbol came.
I think I know
like
that.
people would draw in the sand with their foot, the little C,
Mhm.
and then people would come and complete it, and it was like a squishy alpha, and that was their secret sign. Like, I'm a Christian too, or at least that's what
That is part of the answer. Just to kind of connect you with the story, we're going to pass around some fish.
Do I just use my hand?
One of the things that they used to use for the Jesus fish is back in the early church when they were being persecuted like all the time. You wanted to have a Christian gathering, you didn't really know where the Christian gathering was going to be because I mean, like, you couldn't like start advertising. You don't put out a church sign. Hey, Rome, we're having a church gathering over here. Why don't you all kill us after worship? So you had to have a way to let the Christians know where the meeting was going to be. So you would draw a Jesus fish, and wherever the nose pointed, that was the direction you went.
Oh, that's cool.
awesome.
I like that one better than mine.
And like you would, like you have a series of Jesus fish somewhere,
So now
and
you
especially in a
know
fishing community, I'm sure that doesn't draw a lot of attention. But it reminded them of several things. It reminded them of Jesus' miracles, but it was a connection that you're a Christian, and it pointed to the way. What else does the way mean?
I'm the way, the truth, and the life.
Yes.
Bam! At least
So,
you're
so Jesus is the way. Did you have your hand raised?
Oh, no.
Oh. You look like you have a finger pointing.
She's holding the fish stick.
Oh, I thought that was your finger. I thought you were like, I'm just waiting patiently for my turn.
Oh yeah, and when we went to student life, like my first year, it was our best first year, but
Yeah,
it was student life. It was called the Way, and it was talked about like in Acts. Paul always called like the early church the Way.
Yes.
He would like make it like Jesus lovers.
Yes, that's right. But before we were known as Christians,
We followed the way.
we followed the way. That was what the faith was called. It was the way. Well, I'll take one since I'm talking.
They're actually really good.
So, the faith used to be called the way because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. The way to what?
Heaven.
To heaven. What else?
The Father.
Salvation.
Salvation.
Father.
The Father.
Your future.
Your future.
Yeah.
Jesus saves us. Jesus ultimate. Wow, I just said Jesus. Wow. Jesus saves us. Ultimately, he saves us from hell, but he also saves us in the here and now. Like, don't treat Jesus just as your fire insurance. Like, okay, I'm getting into heaven now. I heard someone ask the question before, if you got to heaven and Jesus wasn't there, would you be satisfied? Like, if you're really a Christian, your relationship with God should be that you're so close to Jesus that you just want more and more of him. And I'll confess to you, like, just there's been times before where I haven't spent time with God, like that day or whatever, and like the whole rest of the day just like goes tumbling down. Because like if I don't spend that time, and I don't say that to like brag, like look at me, I spend so much time with God. I'm saying like look, there were times I didn't spend time with God, and like it just totally like I have to be like charged by God. And hopefully, if you've got that relationship with God, you've got to like get that charge. You've got to like plug into God, or your battery's just gonna die. And too many of us, we're trying to run on our own battery. Out here, your batteries aren't going to do you a lot of good. There's nothing to plug into here but Jesus. There's no accident that we're here. Each one of you, you were guided to this place. We don't know why we crashed, but for some reason we all survived. And each one of you, you're guided to this place for a reason. There's a reason behind every one of you. And we know things about each other. There's things about each other that we don't know. We know some awkward things, some stories, but we know a little bit more about you now. But there's things in everybody's past that we probably wouldn't want to drag out. But you know, I used to, when I was a kid, like one of my favorite things, and I was an only child, and I had a very vivid imagination because there was nobody in my neighborhood. There was like 2 girls. It was like me and 2 girls. So what? Yeah, they were like much younger than me, so it wasn't like, ooh, look at you. There was one that always said that we were going to get married, but I mean, she was like 5 and I was like 10. But anyway. Yeah, that didn't work out. I'm with the right woman now. I used to like always think like, what would I change about my past to change things now or in the future? But the more I've thought about it, God is one who redeems us, and God can take anything in your past, no matter what it is that happened before you happened to this island. You can think of this island as kind of a clean slate. We're all on a level playing field. No one's better than anybody else. And whatever's in your past, God can take that and he can mold that, and God can use it for his glory. Not for your glory, for his glory. God has a way. I mean, we talk about how God acts in our present. Like, we pray to God and God acts in our present. And like God does things with the circumstances of our lives right now. And God is active in our future. Like God is there in the future, and he's got great plans for us. But I firmly believe God has plans for our past too. That God is beyond all of time. That he's not just like, well, I'm here for the next 5 minutes, and now what just happened became the past. God's beyond time. So I firmly believe God is in our past too, looking at what we're doing, the mistakes that we've made in our past, and he's like, I know what I'm going to do with that. I know that I'm going to use that experience in your life, and I'm going to use that to draw you closer to me. Because yeah, you forgot about me when you did that mistake, but I'm going to use that to pull you closer to me. And I'm going to use that, and in the future, somebody else that's going through that same mistake, you can be with them. And you can be someone pointing them back to Christ, because I was there with you through that. Even if you made a mistake, that I was there with you through that. So I firmly believe God uses our past.
Just help us. Just give us strength, give us guidance, but most of all, let us know to rely on you. We are lost, but we're lost together. So just let us stay united and work with each other. Help us to realize that you're the only way home, and help us to not only look or find our way home, but to help us find our way back to you, and let us be positive and just look at the good in this experience, and let us know that if we do rely on you, then our relationship with you is only going to get stronger. You know, pray, amen.
Amen. They're from 2011. That doesn't make sense.
That's 2008.
They're right here. Look, here, look.
What do they say, Andrew?
It's talking about our flight.
Please announce it.
It says that they've been looking for us for a year.
What?
That hasn't been a year. How can we have newspapers like from the future or something?
It's a message from God.
But look, the stories are all right. Like the details are here.
Yeah, like everything's right except for the part where we die.
What?
Wait.
It's talking about us dying. It says they found our bodies. There's pictures and stuff.
What? What?
There's like pictures of our flight at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh no. But I'm here.
And there's stories from like y'all's family and stuff in here, like talking about how they miss you and stuff.
Oh no. What is it?
It's like there's a note from Oceanic Airlines that they feel real sorry about it. I don't think that's gonna do us a lot of good, but there's talking about that. Okay, like let's pass some of these out. Like y'all check this out. See what this is about.
Yeah, if we had our phones, we could see.
There's a list of everybody's name who died.
July 6, 2011.
I need help. I'm so glad I found y'all.
Give her some warm water.
I was out in the water. Oh, everybody's dead.
On the shipwreck?
Yeah, I saw it. Even the children.
Oh gosh.
They're all gone.
At least you made it here okay. At least there's one.
But I don't understand how a shipwreck and a plane crash happened in the same place at the same time.
I don't know, but you're with us now. We're gonna figure it out. I'm sure you were like exhausted because you've been like.
I've been swimming. My gosh. I just came in from over there.
Well,
Talk about a current. That was hard.
I bet. Oh my gosh. Well, why don't you get some water and like we'll pack up some of that stuff, but you get some water first. If you can make it.
I think I might know where an answer is.
Yeah?
Okay, for a while this is happening. When I was out there swimming, you know, trying to find somebody.
Yeah.
I saw a light on an island. I think they might have some answers for us.
Okay.
I noticed you had
Check
some
it out.
boats. Do you think you could take me?
Yeah, let's load up the boats and check it out. Why don't you go ahead and get some water and
Is the water over there?
yeah, the water's over there on that table. Why don't you get some water or something? No, y'all stay here. Y'all stay here.
Yeah, we don't know if she's safe. I mean, we don't really know that person.
Yeah.
Y'all
quiet for a second.
Yeah, this
Hold
is,
on.
I'm worried.
We don't have to say anything, but not to be paranoid, but one, I don't remember this girl on a plane.
She said she was on the plane.
I don't remember her. And two, she's really dry to have been swimming out in the water.
That's a good point.
Second.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we'll follow her for now, but let's keep an eye on her, okay?
I think y'all need to stay away from her. I don't feel too good.
Let's see what this island is. 'Cause maybe, regardless what she's about, maybe this island has some answers for us. And there's more of us than there is her, so let's check that out.
And I know, I know all about the Bible, love everybody, all that, but I don't know.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I know, and I know I shouldn't go by the way she looks. I know that. I'm trying to talk.
Strange.
But she looked a little crazed when she.
I'm not so sure she's not a little drugged out. Did you think?
She looked a little bit crazy.
She said she'd been swimming and she was...
She was completely dry.
That's what scares me.
Stay here. I don't know what's going on.
That's the first thing I say. It's all...
I bet we all. Chase has a serious question.
What?
Do you want to film your life?
Yeah. Right now. Hey guys, we're voting out Macon.
Protecting us? He's just trying to kill us.
I have a feeling if he wanted me dead, I would already be dead by now. Sir, we're not your enemies. How long have you been out here?
16 years.
Whoa.
I came with the science team, and there's a lot of strange things happening on this island.
What kind of strange things?
Well, too many to count, but for example, my people, they poisoned their minds. They made them violent and paranoid.
Wow.
I had to kill all of them just to survive myself.
No.
Wait. So you're the same one? who killed all those crazy people?
Well, I know that sounds strange, but you have to believe me.
Oh, I believe that you just tried to kill several of us.
Hold on. Let him finish.
No, I haven't talked to anybody since I sent that distress signal, except my daughter, of course, but she's gone now.
What happened to her?
Well, they took her, the others.
Well, if there's others on the island, can't they help us?
No, don't think they'll help you at all. They're not here to help anybody. They come and they kill.
So how come we haven't seen any of these other people?
Well, you haven't looked on all the islands. There are lots of other islands around. But what I want to know is, how did you find this place?
Well, we were the survivors of the Oceanic 815 flight, and we crashed.
I know your plane crashed, but how did you get there after the plane crashed? How did you find this place here, where we are?
We had some of our survivors on another island, so we just found these boats. There was like this hexagon thing on it that said Dharma.
Boats? What? There are transceivers on each one of those boats. They'll come for you.
Okay, we need to turn out some of these lights then, get some attention off of us.
Do you have any more weapons other than that knife of yours?
I have some rifles, rope, knives, and C4. You see, it takes an awful lot of strategic thinking when you're sharing an island with those others.
Hold on, Jordan. We don't know that these people are trying to hurt any one of us.
I'm just going off what the man who's been here for 16 years is saying he should know.
You're going to believe a man who talks about a sickness in people that makes them paranoid? Obviously, he's the one that's psycho and crazy.
It's you.
Whoa. Wait a minute. How could y'all possibly know each other? Y'all just met.
He's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's the one that's been on this island for 16 years alone.
She's one of them. She's one of them.
Is this true, Judith? Are you trying to sell us out?
Guys, I have an easy way of figuring this out, all right? Look, when we found the black box, I took the plane's manifest.
You just took the manifest?
He was dead. It's not like he's going to use it.
Good point.
Hold on. I think I have just the answer to this. My name is Agent Eden, and I'm an air marshal, and I've been following Jonathan for quite some time.
You've been following me?
Yes, ever since you bought your plane ticket. When someone from the Iraqi army buys a plane ticket to fly to the U.S., it kind of raises some red flags.
Wait a minute. You're about to tell me that you've been following me this entire time.
Wait. What's the meaning of this?
Okay, the point is, when Jonathan was part of the army, his job was to interrogate and torture people to figure out information. We could use this to our advantage. He could help us find out some more information. I mean, our new friend here has tons of weaponry. Who knows where it came from? Not to mention, Mike has some nice carry-on luggage as well.
My knives are for hunting, not butchering people.
He wasn't with us.
She wasn't?
It's not on here at all.
I guess you found me out.
On the fire!
Everybody back up!
Oh my God.
All right, do what the man said. Got it going. Back up.
All right, who are you? What do you want?
This isn't relevant right now, Travis.
Okay, how do you know my name?
Same way I know Mike over there. Before he got to this island, he was in a wheelchair. Same way I know Jordan over there hadn't been exactly honest with everyone. Why don't you tell him why you're actually here, why you're being deported, murderer?
Shut your mouth.
Why does it bother you that the way your own family turned you in after you got a hold of that con man that took advantage of your own family?
I said shut your mouth. Oh my God.
Whoa.
She got shot, guys.
All right, just a flesh wound. Chill out.
All right, now, what's the point of all this? Why would you sneak up on us and ambush us at night? I mean, none of us have done it. I mean, granted, in our past, we have some stuff, but since we've been on the island, none of us have done anything to you.
It's not what you have done, it's what you are planning to do. And that stops now. Y'all need to stay here, either this island or where your main plane crash is. The other island's ours, or just stay put. And by the way, you and you, bloody one, y'all come with us.
Hey, you're not taking anyone.
Yes, ma'am, we are. And you're going to sit here and watch us. Because next time we run into you, it won't be a misunderstanding. It's going to be a little more serious. You understand? So just back up. Take care of your little wounded. Don't bother trying to find us.
Can't do anything right now. We've got knives in the gunfight. We'll get them back later. We can't do anything right now. They're expecting it. And like I say, they've got guns. We don't have any. But we'll have to figure out something. All right, we got to put a plan together. Obviously, we've made some enemies here when we took the boats. We had to, but obviously there's something going on here. We need to do a couple things. First, we need to get our people back. Second of all, we need to tend to our wounded. So, Katie, thank you for taking care of that, and I believe Taylor probably needs your help too.
And she's in a bear
trap. Mike, I don't know your name, but you seem like you're pretty aggressive. I think you'd be good in the search party. So we need to put you in there. Obviously, yeah, we got to get our people back. We got the search team working on some kind of solution now. But I mean, we don't know these people are like what on the earth they've got against us. Why we're the targets for this, but they said a lot of stuff, and granted they may be some crazy people. May not be the first crazy people we met tonight, no offense, but we've got some crazy things going on here. But one of the things that it struck me in the middle of all the, I mean, aside from the syringe striking me in the ground, one of the things that's striking me is, you know, if we weren't fighting amongst ourselves, trying to figure out like, were we going to go against this guy? Were we going to go against each other? Who were we going to listen to? Then maybe we would have seen this coming. Maybe we would have seen like the enemy outside of us. Which I mean, it's kind of like the way the Christian life works sometimes. Yeah, sometimes we can focus so much about ourselves and make this about us. Or we can make it about some kind of issue that we want to argue about, and we can totally miss the point. We can totally miss it. There's other stuff outside that needs our attention. And little did we know that we got people sneaking up in the woods on us. I mean, everybody was turned on each other at some point. Ephesians 6 says, what Paul writes in Ephesians 6, our struggle isn't against each other. It's against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So it's like, it's not even about those people. Yeah, those people do some evil stuff. We do evil stuff all the time. Who here does evil stuff sometimes? We make it kind of out about the others are bad. Who here is bad sometimes? It's not about they're evil and we're good. It's not as much about the people, it's about what's going on in their hearts. And we don't know what's going on in their hearts. But we know what's going on in our hearts, and that's something we can do something about. I can't change them, I can't force them to change. I can't say, you're going to be a Christian now, okay. But what I can do is I can control my reaction to it. And then what we can do as a whole is we can control how we react to it. Now the knee-jerk reaction is we want to get revenge. We want to pull that knife. Somebody hurt me, I want to hurt them back. And that's what we do. And we've kind of bought into this lie that my self-independence, my self-image, something I've got to protect is if you do me wrong, I've got to do you wrong. And I got to do it wrong 10 times worse. I'm going to not bury the hatchet, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to bring it down your head. I'm not going to burn a bridge, I'm going to incinerate the whole city around the bridge. That's what we do, that's the way we do people. Like I say, you know, evil people do evil things, but we're all evil. So it's not about where we're taking out the evil people. It's not about revenge. God says through Paul in Romans 12:19 that revenge belongs to God, that he'll take care of the revenge part. And there's this real interesting story in Ezekiel 25 that there's these different tribes, right? They make up Israel, all these different households and all these like family lines. They make up this nation of Israel. In Ezekiel 25, they're called houses, and we might just think of them as communities, and they're all families that trace back to Abraham. But this tribe of Judah, they do something wrong to another tribe. It's like, I mean, you can almost think of this as like mafia families, all right? The tribe of Judah they do something wrong to this other tribe called Edom. And Edom decides they want to get revenge. Like, okay, Judah did me wrong. I'm going to go over to their family. I'm going to bust some kneecaps. But what God says in verses 11 through 13 of Ezekiel 25 is that he's going to kill all the men and animals in Edom because they went and got revenge. And because they went and got revenge, instead of leaving the revenge up to God, and they became so bloodthirsty, like, I'm just going to get these people back, and it consumed them, that they became guilty of the same thing. Yes, Judah did them wrong, but it's kind of like two wrongs don't make a right. This guy we just met, he talked about this sickness, and that's what sin is. It's a sickness. We all get it from birth. We all carry it. We spread it to others. Sometimes we're not happy unless we've got somebody else sinning with us. But God says, because Edom went and they got so consumed with this revenge and they made it about that God's going to just rain down this punishment on them because it wasn't their place to get revenge. And as we get our people back, it's not our place to get revenge. Okay, we've got a couple machetes. Granted, that's cool. They have guns. Let's say they didn't have guns. Let's say all they have are like plastic spoons and we have machetes. Does it make it any more right because we have more weaponry? Does it make it any more just because we can annihilate them? It's not about annihilating. We need to get our people back, period. And hopefully maybe we can change some hearts along the way. But it's not about you cut me, so I'm going to cut you worse. There's all kinds of cases in the Bible where God commands people to go to war. But each time that God calls for war is to fulfill one of his promises. It's to bring people back to their knees in front of God again. And there's all these other reasons that God does call people to war, but they all boil down to fulfilling God's will. But a lot of time when we as mankind, we decide to go to war, we make it about us. We make it about our greed. We make it about revenge. You have something I want, or you took something from me, and now I'm going to make you pay. Not to say there isn't a place for just wars. There are times when God calls us to go to war for a good reason, but there's also times when we just become greedy. It's important to know the difference between, what's my will versus God's will. Sometimes we superimpose our will. We say, well, God wanted me to go get revenge on that person. God wanted me to go out and attack that other person. And we bring that into our religious faith. You believe a little bit differently from me, so I'm going to go and attack you, and I'm going to say bad things about you, and I'm going to ruin your image. Because we believe a little bit differently than you do, or whatever. Triple E. Does anybody know who Triple E is? Christian rapper. Pretty awesome dude.
Oh, yeah.
There was an album by a group called 116 Click, and he's part of that. And on this album, if you ever get a chance to listen to it, it's amazing. It's called 13 Letters. And basically, it's the Pauline epistles. It's like all 13 letters that Paul wrote to churches made into rap songs. Triple E talks about the book of Titus, and he says, let's be blameless and show consideration for man, because we were just like them before he saved us within. It wasn't strange we had rage and hatred for man, disobedient, deceased, and enslaved to our sin. So in other words, before we accept Jesus' sacrifice that he paid the penalty for our sins, we're all enslaved to sin. We're all like caged up in our sin. And our people that were just taken captive, yes, they were taken captive, but the people who grabbed them were themselves captive to sin. So they were just taken prisoner by prisoners. So in a sense, it's almost like the enemy, if you want to call him that, doesn't really have a leg up on us. We both share that in common. We are both just completely encaged by our sin before Christ sets us free. I heard someone say before, and this is just, I love this analogy, and I probably won't deliver it as good as they did, but they gave this analogy that when you find somebody and your heart is just set on this person, like you have just got it bad for this person, like you start changing things about yourself. Like guys, like before you met that girl that you like, you had like the Cheeto stains on your shirt, you don't care, you go out with it, you got like holes in your clothes, you like haven't bathed in 3 days, you don't care, whatever, just you and the guys, you don't care. But then there's that girl, all of a sudden you start wearing like the nice designer clothes you would have not cared about otherwise. You actually care if there's a stain or a wrinkle or something somewhere. You start like wearing cologne, and probably at this age, if you're anything like me, you wore way too much because you thought more meant better, and you're wrong, let me tell you. We used a whole bottle of cologne. Yeah, yeah. We were like probably 13. He's like, man, the more of this stuff you put on, the more girls will just go crazy for it. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. So he used half the bottle, I used half the bottle. So I guess I gotta be fair. I don't know how Brute smells when you put it on the right way, but I know it stinks like crazy when you put the whole bottle on. But anyway, guys, like, you want to change yourself for that girl. You want to like say the right things and do the right things, and you want to present your best possible self. And while you're projecting that out, like you're trying to like woo this girl, it's a weird word, but you're trying to like win the heart of this girl. You're like trying to put your best possible self out there. And, you know, truthfully, maybe you're not that smooth of a talker or best dresser or whatever all the time, but you hope to become that. Like, you hope to kind of win her heart, and over time, you will be that person you're projecting. And the same with girls. But when you're trying to win the heart of somebody, you do all kinds of things. You change things about your appearance, and hopefully you're changing things within yourself because you want to be noticed by that person and you want to win their heart. And the way I heard it described by somebody was like, that's the same thing that we do for God. Hopefully it's more than just skin deep. Hopefully when you meet God and you just fall in love with God, you change things about yourself. And maybe there's some stuff on the outside, you know, like maybe there's like things like clothes you're wearing that you shouldn't be wearing, like the skanky shorts that come up to here. I don't understand that, but you know, maybe like for God, you're like, okay, I'm going to give that up because I know I'm advertising. But you know, maybe it's more than just your clothes. Maybe there's things about you and your inside. And when you fall in love with God, you're like, you know, I don't want God to see that. I want to impress God. And that there's other people out there, and we look at them and we like act like they should be acting like Christians. Like, man, they did this, they did that, they said this, they said that. That's not the Christian way to do things. Maybe they're not Christian. Maybe we're expecting people to act like Christians who aren't Christians. We're expecting them to act like radically transformed people when they haven't even met Jesus yet. They haven't fallen in love yet. When that happens, when they fall in love with the Savior, those changes can happen. But they don't even know why they should care yet. That person is like in Sunday school class, and they're like kind of sitting in a chair off by themselves, and nobody is sitting beside them. Do you ever go up to that person and talk to them? Or are they kind of treated like an other? Do we, and I know some of y'all are really good about this. I'm not trying to say that like you're not, but I know a few of y'all have been like really good about inviting people to stuff and talking to them. But I want each of you to kind of evaluate, like, how welcoming am I? Like, do I bring people into the fold? Do I make them a part of what we're doing? Do I try to let people know that I care about them?
Where are you? I don't know. Where are you?
So I'm going to zoom in. There's a lovely shirt. Yes. Fantastic. It's a beautiful shirt.